Today I'm going to be taking a look at yet another show that I have never seen before, Metalocalypse. Now I honestly have no idea what this show is even remotely about, but people like to get really greasy and grimy when I talk about it, so me as a viewer, I really hope the music at least makes me feel like this.
Come on, ladies, play us a tasty lick!
Yeah, finally earning your keep around here, you dirty, stinky succubus. Finally doing something right. But either way, I really do hope that Metalocalypse is a sweet turn of pace compared to what I usually watch around here, which is usually slop, usually horrible, atrocious things, because genuinely, anytime I even breathe the words, Metalocalypse, people are like, yeah! Yes! You know, they like start geeking and tweaking, so I'm pretty excited to see, is Metalocalypse actually good? I'm pretty excited for this one, and if you like content just like this, please make sure to like and subscribe because I upload almost every single day, and you don't want to miss it. If you want a place where you can talk about your favorite games, movies, and shows, my Discord will be in the description, and if the content here on YouTube just isn't enough for you, my Patreon will be in the description. I'm gonna have gaming content, behind the scenes content, all that good stuff, plus what is here on YouTube. Now let's finally take a look at Metalocalypse. The first episode that I took a look at was Cleanzo, and this show is surprisingly really funny. Like, objectively, all the jokes land whenever they're meant to, the characters are really interesting, and I really like the concept. I mean, even the beginning of the episode just showcasing a documentary about this clown named Dr. Roxo, and he's like,
oh god, oh, I'm gonna get all rich and famous, oh god, but the cocaine, oh, it's just too good.
You know, he's just geeking over some coke, and he really wants it really bad, and we just get to watch this documentary about how he keeps having this downfall. And one thing that I have to highlight is when he's on the phone and he's like talking to people, and you can just like overhear their conversations where he's in like a paranoid manic state, and he's like,
oh god, oh, where are my bananas? I need my bananas. Oh, did you take my bananas or my sandwich? My banana sandwich.
He's like, you're paranoid right now, Dr. Roxo. You need to calm down a little bit.
Nobody took your sandwich, man.
It's like, oh, I found my bananas. I'm sorry.
And then apparently he stole a bunch of cocaine, like 1,000 pounds of it, which is an insane amount, out of a truck, and he's now on the lam. Crazy way to open the episode, like, pretty dang wild. I was all for it though. And then we cut to this group of soldiers, which I don't really understand them at this point, but they want to hunt down Dr. Roxo, and it's a little bit weird. It just kind of sets up the fact that they're aware of Dr. Roxo and they want him really bad. So that was interesting. And then we have a conversation between all of our guys with Deathlock or Deathclock. It's one of those two. If I get eviscerated in the comments for not being able to hear, is it Deathlock or Deathclock? Go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. It's one of the two, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool band name either way, so if you have to feel like,
oh my god, if you just go on Google for 1 second,
I don't care. I don't care. It's one of the two. So they're having a conversation with, I think, Nathan, Toki, and William mainly talking, and William, he is claiming that he was the one who wrote all of Deathlock's songs. I'm gonna go with Deathclock, actually. All of Deathclock's songs, for all time. It was shown in the documentary. He's like, yeah, I can write any song, and it pains me what's going on with Dr. Roxo. Like, it hurts me so bad. And so everybody hates this, especially Nathan. He's like, you can never write a song in your life, like, there's just no way. So that sets up our B plot quite nicely, with William trying to write a song, which I think leads to a lot of really funny moments throughout the entire episode. And then we come back to Dr. Roxo, who makes a phone call to Toki and tells him that he really needs his help. So Toki, being a good man, he's like, oh yeah, man, I'll go help you. And so he goes out there, and I really like their motorcycle, where it's just one motorcycle with 4 side carriages. I think that's pretty funny. I couldn't imagine seeing that. I mean, that would be pretty fucking epic if it was actually like a metal band all cruising around together. But that would be a really quick way for all of them to die spontaneously just in the news one day. Just like, oh my gosh, look, it's Deathclock! Oh my god! And then they just get hit by a semi and every single one of them dies a horrible death. Like, that's what I imagine happening. But it's not what happens. So Dr. Roxo, we get to see him once again. He gets out of a car, and I'm pretty sure he's just covered in mass amounts of poop. Like, it looks like he's just sagging in poop. He yells at the taxi driver. He's like,
you don't know me. Oh, you're so mean.
I know measly tail! You beat it! Oh.
Dr. Roxo, get cocaine. I need help, Toki. I need help.
So they agree to help him and they take him back. And then we get our first look at William trying to write a song, and he's got his little songbook, and Nathan is just dissing him pretty much the entire time, like, come on, buddy, you gotta write a song, you know? And William sits there, and I like his lisp because, in a way, he kind of reminds me of Mike Tyson with the way that he talks. He's like, changes. Oh, a fish, a fish, a fish with kids, titty fish.
A fish with kids.
Which is a very odd song to come up with at the top of your head. Like, I don't know, it honestly sounds like something Kanye would write, because you know that he's a gay fish, because he likes fish sticks, so he'd be all like, oh man, I found a fish with some kids. Oh, the fish had titties. Oh, you know, that's the kind of song that he's writing, and I was all for it. I thought it was pretty funny. Honestly, if he didn't have his lispy voice, it would be a lot less funny, but they picked the perfect character to focus on to write a song about fish boobs. You know, what's wrong with writing a good old song about fish tit? Everybody thinks about that. So then we cut to Dr. Roxo, and he's tweaking again. He's like, oh god, I need it so bad. He's swinging around a knife, and Toki's like, well, I'll take care of this, and just shoots him. And I thought he just fucking killed him for a second, but it's just a trank gun.
Get it? Oh! You fucking killed him! Yeah, it's just an animal tranquility.
But either way, the subversion there was really funny. So Dr. Roxo gets knocked out, and then everybody has this conversation that he needs to be a better person without all of the drugs. And we get to see that he was taken away by those, like, government people, like, off screen. And the next time we see Dr. Roxo, he's like, ah! Because he's getting shock tortured. And this fucking agent guy walks in and he's like, what are you doing to this man? Stop! Leave him alone! And then Dr. Roxo's like, oh, thank you! Oh, God! Oh, thank you so much. He's like, yes, you're welcome, dear boy, I am your angel. Shock him one more time. And then he just shocks him again.
An angel!
Yes, I am. There. Give him one more.
Why'd you do that? I don't understand anything that's happening. It's all so confusing, but it's honestly pretty dang funny. So Dr. Roxo wakes up and they entice him with some good old-fashioned hookers and some blow, so he's really pumped for that. He doesn't know what he's gonna do. He gets out there and all of his friends, they're having an intervention for him. Oh gosh, oh gee whiz. He's not gonna like no silly thing intervention. That's not gonna be good. So he sits down, he just has this face on him, just like a scowl, and Nathan Explosion is the first one to talk, and he's like, Dr. Roxo, I actually hate you. I hate you so unbelievably much. I honestly hope that you just go and die. I would be perfectly fine with that. Like, you could just go die. And Dr. Roxo's like, oh man, that means a lot, you know? And then Nathan, he tries to sing a song and smashes William, he smashes his guitar because he can't come up with good lyrics. And then Toki's like, oh, Dr. Roxo, let me look at my paper. I've always thought of you as a good friend. And the Dr. Roxo's like, okay, I'll do it. You guys won me over, I'll do it. And like, it actually shocks me that the music is really well written. Like, it's not gonna be the greatest metal song or rock song that I've ever heard, but it's decent, where Dr. Roxo is just singing about becoming Cleanzo, just talking about how he's losing the best woman of his life, talking about that white rock, that silvering thing that goes up your nose and makes you feel so energized. He's singing about that, and it's actually pretty decent. I was all for it. I thought it was pretty funny. And then he decides to turn himself in after becoming clean, and just wow. Wow, what an introduction to the show. Like, a show that I had never even seen animation of, that I had never really even heard of, that I had never, like, I don't know. Like, I've heard the title. That's pretty much all I got from it, and I assumed that it was going to be about metal, but I didn't think that there would actually be passion or creativity behind it. Like, this is so far a fucking hidden gem. This was a lot of fun. I thought this was funny. I thought, like, the plot, like, flowed pretty well, and when it didn't flow well, it was for a joke, like Dr. Roxo being tranked, and I don't get to see what happens to him, and then all of a sudden he's being tortured by CIA or whatever agents. That was just fucking, that was hilarious. Like, I like all the characters a lot too. This was just a lot of fun. If I was to rate this 1 to 10, I would give this a solid 10 out of 10. I had so much fun watching this. The next episode that I took a look at was Death Dad, and something that I do admire about the show is the way that it's able to blend extremely dark humor, knowing when to like get off that gas pedal a little bit and have something more serious for the characters that's actually happening, that's actually really important, and then it just tops it off with, again, some really good dark humor. It's just a really good balance of that, and I will say the ending of this episode is unbelievably shocking, one of the most shocking episodes that I've ever seen for sure. It's just crazy what they decided to do, because I thought this was like a turning point episode for one of the characters, like a great moment for that character, like great progression for him, and then I had to watch what he goes through, like, dear lord, but it's kind of funny at the same time because it's great dark humor. So either way, the episode opens with some of my favorite stuff in animated shows, with the characters just shooting the shit, really, just having a good time. They're just standing there blowing up guitars with fireworks. They keep putting fireworks in William Murderface's ass. They just keep shoving them in there, and he's like, oh guys, stop doing that. I'm looking for fireworks in the grass. Stop putting things in my ass, please. It's really funny. It's casual, it's good, I like it. And then Toki, he gets on the phone, he's speaking a different language. I don't know what people in Norway speak, and I don't want to like just assume, is it Norwegian? Is that a horrible thing to say because they don't speak that? But either way, he's on the phone and he finds out that his dad has cancer, and that's just a darn shame. That sucks. And then what they decide to do after that is really fucking funny, because they go back to their crib where they hang out, their like big castle or whatever, and Toki's just sitting there deadpan like, because, you know, it's a hard thing to hear that one of your loved ones has the big C. It's unfortunate. It's tragic. But then there's this other character, and I don't really know his name because they never said it, or they have, but it's kind of weird. I think it's like Svenke or something. He's looking at him and he's like, oh, I sorry your dad has the big K. You know, I sorry. And he doesn't say anything, so he keeps looking at him and he's like, oh, what? You no talk to me? Huh? You just stare at me like a fish?
Just looking at you and you just stands there like a fish. Talkie.
What's your problem? And he walks up to him and he starts playing with his lips and he's like, you know, you never had a father. Like, talking to himself by using Toki's mouth, which is very weird. You never had a father and you turned out fine. And he's like, I never had a father? I didn't turn out fine. Get away from me, you asshole. It's so stupid, but it's so funny at the same time. So it then cuts to them all sitting around the dinner table talking about Toki, and they're just having like such a weird conversation. Like, you think these guys, you know, they're bandmates, they might all be friends. They're just like, man, should we hide the guns? Should we hide them? Cause he might kill us, man. He might really do something we might not like. And then Toki shows up and they're like, ah, you know, freaking out, tweaking. And Toki, he's like, oh guys, I must go to Norway now to see my dad die, I guess. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go. And he's like basically saying like, hey, do you guys want to come with me? Like, I might need some support from my friends, you know, with my dad dying and all, you know, just a little bit of support. And fucking, they're like, oh, you know, well, say hi to your dad for me. Yeah, say hi to your dad unless he's dead, which, in that case, I guess you could say hi to the corpse. I mean, just like realistically, say hi to your father even if he's already dead. Just like, no matter what, say hi to your dad for me.
Well, you know, say hi to his corpse, I guess. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, no matter what happens, say hi.
It's just so fucking stupid, and he's like asking them to come, and they're just like, no, I gotta work on the album. Gotta work on the album, and then they're just sitting there, and Toki leaves, and their like record producer, their manager is sitting there, and he's like, okay guys, yeah, you know, guys, I'm being serious, like, you guys need to work on that record, get up, work on that record, get on, work on that record, go work on that record, work on the record, right now, work on the record, work on the record. And so it cuts to them working on the record, and they are just like, they all were being dicks to Toki, and they're like, you know what, record manager, you fucking suck, you're so stupid, and you suck. And they're all against it, so now they want to go and help Toki. And at the same time, we cut to like this the generals and the CIA agents who are all watching, and they say that Toki is the bringer of death. He's going to cause so many problems for the entire world. He is violent, the bringer of death. And I don't really know how that related to the episode. I mean, I guess I could tell you why I think it would at the end of the episode, but I don't know. That just didn't have any implications to what was truly going on. Like, I don't know. Are these just this group of people that constantly watch Death Clock and just are fucking like convinced that they're going to cause a bunch of problems with the world? I don't really know. So, so they all decide to help him. And they get to Norway, and that is when Toki just starts stalling, making them go around and do a bunch of different things. Like, they go to a record store, and they listen to some pretty shit metal. Like, it didn't sound very good. They go to try some crumb cake, and then eventually they convince Toki that he has to go and see his father. And that is when the episode honestly got pretty serious for a second. Because here, it's just a bunch of jokes like, oh, your dad's gonna die, that's awful, lol, XD, raffle, you know, like, shit like that. But then we get to see Toki staring at his house and he just can't go in, and we get to see flashbacks of abuse like throughout his childhood, where he was either chained up, where he had to carry rocks on his back, where his father was slapping him across the face like constantly. This causes Toki to run out in the forest, and his song wasn't very good. I'm not gonna glaze it just because it had some good, like, it had some good instrumental, but like Toki's voice is just like, and I became a boy, but now I'm a man. You know, just like stuff like that. And it's all about how he has to get over his childhood trauma and become a man to go and face his father upon his death. And he does manage to do that. He goes in to see his good old papa. He looks him in the eyes, hears something, and his dad wants to go and see his house, the house that he grew up in, one last time before he dies. So they rush there. Toki, being the great guy that he is now, he carries his father up the mountain saying, I forgive you, Dad. I forgive you for everything you put me through as a boy. I love you. He goes to set him down on the fucking stairs. And his dad, oh God. His dad slips down the mountain and just starts rolling down and then falls into the lake. And the episode ends with fucking Toki just pounding on the ice. Just like, no, Dad, no! Like, what? As his father sinks down below into the water to his untimely, well, I guess timely death, since he was about to die anyway, but I don't know. Oh no! Like, that's not what I was expecting. I was expecting like a happy ending for Toki. He got over his childhood trauma, and then he dropped his father down a mountain to his watery, drowned to death. That was just wild. I guess that kind of relates to the Toki being the bringer of death thing, but what the fuck? Like, who decided to write that? Like, in the final expression of the episode is just Toki staring like a ghost as he watches his father drift into the abyss. That is just unbelievably sad, but I mean, in a sense, the man deserved it. I mean, he fucking tortured that kid, and in that small sequence where we got to see what he did to his son, like, that guy deserved it, but damn. Like, that was just crazy. Like, I was thinking, oh man, I just so happened to pick a random episode that focuses on Toki's character growth, where he overcomes his childhood trauma, becomes a better person, fixes the relationship with his father right before his death, and then he drops him off a mountain into the lake, a freezing lake, and he dies. Like, how could you possibly expect that? But either way, this episode was pretty solid. It tackled way more dark humor than the other episode I watched. It was mainly all dark humor, but the way they did it, it was just things that nobody would really ever say to somebody going through that stuff, which makes it funny. Like, if you were just to be all like, oh man, your dad's gonna die, and he has cancer, that sucks, LMAO. Like, that wouldn't be very funny, but saying, oh man, well, you know, whether he's alive or dead, say hi to him for me. You know, like shit like that. It's just so over the top that it just circles around to being pretty funny, and that ending was like subverted all my expectations and was really wonky, really wild. So I ultimately did like that a lot. If I was to rate this episode 1 to 10, I would probably give it a solid 8 out of 10. I think no, I liked it. The only down part of it was Toki's song, but I'm not gonna let that hold back the entire rest of the episode. The rest of the episode was really fun, and I didn't even mention the fact that, like, in between every single scene, there was almost one joke where they're still continuously just shoving a firework onto William Murderface, and he constantly is like, "Ow, guys, again!" Like, that's just funny shit, man. It's just a vibe. I like this episode a lot. The next episode that I took a look at was Clock Blocked, and the beginning of this episode is so unbelievably funny because we get to learn about Nathan Explosion and his relationship to this girl named Becca. Now, they were deeply, passionately in love with each other, you know? They were getting down and dirty until some bad things happened in which she got into a wee little coma. But Nathan wouldn't let go. He stayed by her, loved her, cared for her, and, you know, even in her darkest time, he never wilted his love and affection for his lady. He was all for her. But then, on a fateful night, he discovered the dark truth when Rebecca was seen, spotted even, canoodling while still in a coma. She managed to get with another man, a rich tennis player. In her coma, her vegetative state, she was like, I need to be a whore.
In public canoodling with billionaire hotel heir Walt Perkins.
And she cheated on Nathan. Nathan's little heart was broken, and it's honestly a pretty funny opening of the episode just because she managed to do it while in a coma. That caught me so off guard. And then Nathan also has, like, the most valid reaction to getting your heart broken ever, where it just cuts to him in the rain, just being like, ugh, as he's hitting golf balls, and all of his friends are sitting there like, she was a whore, Nathan. She was a whore. She's not good enough for you. Come on, come back. And Nathan looks at them, and he's all like, oh, guys, I think it's time. I think I gotta start dating again. So, yep. Nathan Explosion is in fact back on the market. How good for him? How exciting? Let's see what single Nathan Explosion looking to mingle is going to be like. We then cut to Skarsgård, Murderface, and Toki all sitting around a table talking about women. And William, he has just unbelievably failed as a feminist. He's trying his best here, he truly is, but he's saying it for all the wrong reasons. He's like, guys, honestly, I just love women. I love them so much. Like, if anybody says anything bad about women, I'm gonna break them in half. And then Toki's like, but well, it wasn't just the other day you were saying, you know, that's, well, the female, the things with the boobs, the things with the boobies, are like the serpents. Weren't you saying that? And, Murderface, he's all like, well, guys, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you know, when you be nice to women, then there's the potential to get laid. And then the pieces of the puzzle, they all click into place, and you realize that William, he doesn't give a shit about women.
You guys, I may have said a couple kooky things about the ladies, but that was before, man. You gotta defend their honor.
He only cares about that sweet pooch Hami, that poutine. He doesn't give a shit about their feelings or anything, and that's highlighted pretty evidently throughout the entire episode. It gets a lot worse as the episode progresses, but William, you lost my vote, man. You lost my vote. You're just a classic woman hater, and nobody likes a classic woman hater, just gotta say. So William failed as a feminist, and then we get to find out that the government, the general, they're talking about Nathan and how he is single, ready to mingle, and they talk about this secret agency group of succubus women who are going to be after his seed because they need it so unbelievably badly, which was an interesting concept, I guess. Succubuso explosion women, So that's interesting. So we then cut to Nathan, who brings his first woman back to the HQ, back to Metalocalypse HQ, and her name's Rachel, and all the guys, they want to make sure that they're good for Nathan, that they help him with this relationship. So they decide to do some absolutely bullshit things. Like, if I was on a first date and I walk into my house and I have some roommates and I walk in and one of them sprints up and he's like, hello, how you doing? Let me shake that for you. You got nice hands. You got really soft and nice hands. You wanna play Scrabble with us?
Nathan is so rude. Hello.
Hi.
Oh my god, you have got soft hands.
I would probably punch him in the face. And Nathan's just sitting there like, guys, I think we're gonna go up to my room to be, a little bit more intimate, to say the least. A little bit more intimate, That's kind of my goal here. Painting a bright picture that he wants to, have a good ending to his date because he thinks it's going well, and perhaps, she also agrees. But they're just sitting there like, oh, come on, you must play Scrabble with us. Why can't you be intimate and quiet with us, Like we could be intimate and quiet, we're your friends. Please let us be intimate and quiet with you. We can have fun. And so Nathan reluctantly has to sit there while his date plays Scrabble with his friends, and Nathan goes to bed early. Quite sad. They're just cock blocking him. So Nathan, he keeps on bringing women back to the house over and over and over again, and just his friends keep, doing things to cock block him to the best of their ability, grabbing them, like holding on to them, squeezing their boobs, like just, really not friendish things, just throwing that out there, just putting that on the table. They're just cock blocking him to the maximum ability. And eventually they go to this bar, and Nathan's pretty done with everything. He's just drinking constantly, and William Murderface, he sees some women, and he's like, oh wow, some fresh ladies, let me head over there. Like, hey ladies, just out on patrol right now, just making sure that you're safe. And if you're a girl watching this, I'm so sorry that if any fucking dude would ever come up to you and say something like that, because I know somebody has, where it's like, oh, you need a big strong man to look out for you tonight, I can take care of you. I'm a bass player, you know that? And he even grabs one on the neck, and that fucking made me uncomfortable. I was like, what are you doing? And luckily, the two other bandmates walk over, Pickles and Skarsgård, and they're both there, and they're like, oh, you talking to this loser? This pine cone over here? This Nacho Libre looking ass motherfucker? Yeah, you don't want nothing to do with that. And then the ladies just start roasting him for being a bass player, which I thought was funny.
You're the bass player? Why are we even talking to you? Shouldn't you be, unloading equipment or something?
I also thought, because the show, inherently relates to music a lot, that there definitely was at least one bass player watching this at some point in life, and they were probably just sitting there like, what do you mean bass sucks? What do you mean bass sucks? Just probably having a mental crisis, which I also think was inherently pretty funny. So Nathan keeps getting all of his women stolen constantly. He's very upset about it. He eventually crashes out, and he's all like, guys, we're gonna be playing our first concert, and I gotta be honest with you guys, if you cockblock me one more time, I will fucking kill you. So we then cut to their concert. It's just some pretty good tunes, some banger tunes, and the succubus women, they show up, they're ready, they have a little gun that can grab onto Nathan's balls and suck out his seed. Wow, is that a strange sentence? So they shoot it at him, and then, oh my god, our main man, William Murderface, is like, oh no, you can't do that. And so he steps in the way, and because William gets his balls sucked out, all of the succubus women just die, because I assume that William eats 13 pounds of microplastics a day, and his balls are just heavy with microplastics and women hatred, so they die. And that's the end of the episode, with William being a hero. That was pretty solid, definitely not my favorite. I probably don't like it as much as the other two that I watched, but still a very solid television, very entertaining. There's a lot to like here, a couple of good jokes. So far, there hasn't been a single moment in watching any of these episodes where I was having a bad time, where I wasn't entertained. If I was to rate this episode 1 to 10, I would give it a solid 7. It was still really good. I enjoyed a lot of it. Some of the moments were a little bit slow, but either way, still very, very entertaining. So how is Metalocalypse? Honestly, this show is really good. I can't believe this went under my radar for my entire life, especially because it fits in with exactly what I like in shows. You don't always need characters to be cynical. This is a great balance of whimsical characters, cynical characters, and it just combines them all to create either really good dark humor, really good music, a really good concept for the episode that feels natural, that feels charismatic, that feels down to earth at the same time. The characters are relatable, but also over the top. There's just a lot to like about this show, and I'm honestly so happy that so many people just were like, yes, please watch Metalocalypse, because I never knew anything about it. Like, it was probably going to be a lower one on my list because I'm eventually going to get to every single adult animated show, every single cartoon, but I probably wouldn't have tackled this one this soon if that many people hadn't asked for it, and I'm so glad you did, because this might be a show that I could actually just go and watch on my off time when I'm not making videos, because it's just that good. It actually tells really good stories, the characters are awesome, the world building's super cool, I had a good time. So, when in the beginning of the video I was like, come on ladies, play us a tasty lick. Oh, they played me a tasty lick, alright. One of the most dastardly and delicious licks I've ever heard. I love this show, and I'm excited to go and watch more of it. So, if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I got lots of good content on the way, and as I've said before, my Patreon will be in the description. I'm looking to post a lot more stuff there, behind the scenes stuff, gaming stuff. When Terraria 1.45 comes out, I'll probably do an entire series of gaming on that, and I'll probably just explore a lot of things. So yeah, if you want to support me there, it'd mean a lot, but don't ever feel obligated. I just feel like I have to mention it as a content creator who hopes of making it big. So I appreciate you guys a lot. It's been a lot of fun making videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.